Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Masters Commencement Ceremony for the University of Southern California's Rossier School of Education. Our procession includes the Dean, Associate Deans, faculty, Board of Counselors, and special guests, and this year's graduates of the Rossier School. The procession will now begin. Ladies and gentlemen, please join in welcoming to the podium Dean Karen Symms Gallagher.
Can I ask everyone who's standing to please sit down? Those of you standing on chairs too, thank you. So welcome everyone. I'm delighted and honored to welcome our graduates along with their families and friends to this commencement exercise. Your family and friends' support makes this day possible. On behalf of the faculty, staff, alumni, and friends of the USC Rossier School of Education, I offer our warmest congratulations to you, the class of 2019. I would like to acknowledge our special guests on the platform here today. First of all, I want to introduce members of our Board of Counselors, and I'm going to, when I call your name, if you'll stand, and then we'll recognize them as a group. David Hagan, Cindy McCain, and Brent Noyce. Thank you for being with us today. Also joining me on the platform are members of our faculty and school leadership team who will be helping with the ceremony. Please stand as I call your name and we'll recognize all of you as a group. So, Associate Dean Kathy Stowe, Jerry Lucido, Darlene Robles, Larry Pikus, and Program Directors Helena Selly, John Pascarella, and Rob Philback. Now let's welcome all of them. We also have three very special speakers, and you'll hear more about them in just a few moments. Now, we have before us 566 graduates of 6 master's programs. That's amazing. So among the hundreds who are here, who will be walking across the stage shortly, are graduates of our Masters of Arts in Teaching, our Masters of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, World Masters in Language Teaching Program, and credentialed programs in special ed. Also beginning careers of impact are our graduates from our master's program in educational counseling, post-secondary administration, student affairs, marriage and family therapy, and learning design and technology. Each of you has chosen a distinct path, but you are united in your desire to teach, to counsel, to serve, and to lead. And yes, you are all prepared as leaders. This is the goal at the heart of the USC Rossier's mission, to produce leaders with the knowledge and commitment to expand learning opportunities and to improve outcomes in urban settings, especially for students in historically underserved communities. You are up to the challenge. Today marks a milestone in your journey. This is also a day to reflect on what we, as the oldest graduate school of education in Southern California, have learned in the course of our 100-year history. USC Rossier was established in 1918 when Los Angeles was booming. University leaders who were as entrepreneurial as they were public-spirited recognized an opportunity to fill a pressing need for educators in a region that was rapidly growing with a rapidly growing and diverse school population. Over the ensuing decades, our graduates helped meet the changing needs of a thriving metropolis. In the 1920s, for instance, our graduates were at the forefront of efforts to help immigrant children gain the skills they needed to enter the mainstream of society. They introduced school cafeterias, after-school playgrounds, free health screenings, and other reforms that soon became standard features of public schools. In the 1930s, one of our very first PhDs in education went to a woman whose name might be familiar to some of you, although I'm pretty sure not to any of our graduates. Her name was Ethel Percy Andrus. She was a pioneering principal who turned Lincoln High School right here in LAUSD into a national model for reducing ethnic and racial conflict. And then, after 40 years as an educator, she went on to found ARP, the American Association of Retired Persons, one of the largest and most influential lobbying and consumer group in the nation. And she is just one of scores of USC School of Education graduates who have made a difference. Starting in the 1950s, the School of Education became known as a powerhouse in the development of educational leaders. Los Angeles Unified alone has had 11 Trojans as superintendents, going back as far as 1929. And over the last 50 years, more than 230 Trojans have led California school districts, including more than 75 current superintendents. One of our more recent graduates heads a nation. Hilda Heine, who earned her EDD from Rossier in 2004, is president of the Marshall Islands and a global leader in the fight against climate change. These are but a few of the examples of impact our school has made locally, nationally, and globally during its first 100 years. In Rossier's second century, we intend, through innovation and a commitment to relevance, to continue leading the country and the world towards a more equitable future. We will continue to produce teachers and leaders committed to the USC mission of improving educational outcomes and educational equity for all students through research, policy, and practice. As you progress through your careers, I hope one lesson from our history will remain uppermost in your mind. Missions are accomplished when educational leaders like you have the courage to insist on change and the skills and knowledge to deliver it for the students and communities you serve. I speak for every faculty member when I say that we share in your pride on this special day. They have been your mentors, your champions, your challengers, and your counselors. Let's thank them for producing such capable educational leaders as all of you. Let's thank our faculty. I also want to acknowledge another crucial source of support. Many of you would not be here today if not for scholarship to help make your dream a reality. I want to call out 6 students who have spent the last 2 years as members of the USC Rossier Dean's Scholar Program. In exchange for scholarship support, these students have served as interns in offices and departments throughout USC Rossier while earning their degree. And I'm going to call their names, and as I call your name, will you stand, and then we'll thank all of them at the end. From our educational counseling program, Paola Perez. From our MAT program, Molly Bakke and Jacob Roth. And from our PASA program, Camille Edwards, Kevin Jen, and Alonda Morales. Now let's thank all of them. And for every scholarship student, there is a scholarship supporter. Our major scholarship donors have made a huge difference for a number of our graduates. One of them will be joining me during the conferral of our degrees, scholarship supporter and member of our Board of Counselors, David Hagan. He will come to the stage to present diplomas to 2 of our scholarship students. David deserves to share this special day with the graduates that he has supported. And they are Sayana Smith from the Educational Counseling Program, and Ashlyn Fields from the PASA Program. Thank you, David, and congratulations, Sayana and Ashlyn. Today's celebration is a reminder that we depend on the love and support of others to fulfill our dreams and realize our goals. Your network of family, friends, and mentors has been there for you as you work towards this day, and now your degree is the ticket to join one of the mightiest networks in the world, the Trojan family. Membership in this family means you have earned the right to call yourselves USC alumni, but this distinction also brings responsibilities. Now you will be the mentors for future educators. I encourage you to embrace this role as a lifelong and worldwide commitment. We promise to continue to do the same through our own Rossier commitment. Today, we will continue to advance educational equity for all. And now I'm pleased to introduce our student speaker. Stephen Spencer is a native of Pasadena and a graduate of the MAT program. He currently teaches 11th grade English in Sunnyside High School in the Fresno Unified School District. He plans to begin studies for his doctorate in educational leadership here at USC Rossier this fall. Those of you who know him probably have heard him speak of one of his most important teachers, his daughter, Laylee. He says she has taught him important lessons about the essential qualities of a good teacher. Let's welcome Stephen to the podium and learn what he has inspired and motivated what has motivated his journey as an educator. Please welcome Stephen Spencer.
It's both an honor and a privilege to have the opportunity to speak in front of all of you today. As I reflect back on my time here at SC, I can honestly say I did not expect this journey to be as difficult or as demanding as it was, as I'm sure many of my fellow graduates can agree. But nevertheless, I stand here today, or rather we stand here today in conquest, having overcome the many challenges that stood in our way from the moment we submitted an application to the University of Southern California Rossier School of Education to right here, right now, the day we graduate. And although the obstacles were significant and varied for each and every one of us, we managed to adapt, persevere, and we ultimately managed to overcome. And today's ceremony is a public testament to that effect, a demonstration to our community and to the world that there are still men and women from all walks of life, whether it be different races, cultures, socioeconomic backgrounds, belief systems. There are still people, highly intelligent and gifted people, who out of a shared sense of servitude and beyond that, a shared sense of compassion and love for their neighbor, choose to devote their lives to one of the most fulfilling callings in the world, education. Being an educator is a fulfilling calling because teaching, good teaching, requires an immense investment of our time, energy, and effort. You see, we put our heart and souls into what we teach. And we do so day after day and year after year for the same reason that a field hand works the land, or a gardener tends their grove, or a shepherd looks after their flock. We teach because we love growth. And not merely seeing things grow, because anyone can see growth, but instead being an embedded part of the growth process. But as for us, we don't deal with crops or flowers. No, we deal with a far more precious and valuable commodity. Trojan family, I have a confession to make. I'm a completely different man today than the man I was when I first started this program almost 2 years ago. And I think many of my fellow graduates can say the same thing. We've learned a lot. We've read a lot more. And we've done so relentlessly in order to attain this prize. And the prize isn't the degree, but rather the prize is what the degree represents. This degree represents my growth, our transformation. My transformative experiences at Rossier have helped me create an immense impact with the students I work with by instilling within me and within all of us with the essential and foundational skill sets needed to cultivate and grow the leaders of tomorrow. To all my peers in Rossier, my call to you is simple. Never lose sight of what you've been called to do as a teacher of your discipline, as a cultivator of young minds, and as a proponent of the physical, social, emotional, and intellectual growth of our youth. Just as you were transformed into something greater here, carry that legacy on to your own classrooms and offices. Yes, transformation is hard. It's a process. It's difficult, it's demanding, it's uncomfortable. I find that anything worthwhile in life is a process. It's difficult, it's demanding, it's uncomfortable. But believe me and trust me when I promise you that when you finally come to see the fruits of your labor manifest itself through your pupils' very own words and actions, knowing you had a piece of that, knowing that you were a part of that, you'll come to realize, as I have, it's the best work you'll ever do. Fight on.
Thank you, Stephen, for your passion, for your calling, and for reminding us it's about the youth and the students that we teach and work with. Thank you again. Let's give Stephen another round of applause. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce to you a very special member of the USC Rossier family. Cindy Hensley McCain earned a bachelor's degree in education from USC in 1976 and a master's degree in special education in 1978. After earning her degrees, she returned to her home state of Arizona and taught children with Down syndrome and other disabilities who attended school in the low-income Phoenix community. In 1980, she married John McCain and spent the next decades by his side as he carved out a remarkable 4-decade career as congressman and U.S. senator from Arizona. Cindy shared his commitment to public service and created her own impressive path as a philanthropist and humanitarian devoted to improving the health and educational opportunities for poor children around the world. She founded the American Voluntary Medical Team and led missions to developing and war-torn countries during its 7 years of existence. She has been active on the boards of Operation Smile and the Special Olympic Summer Games here in Los Angeles. She chairs the McCain Institute's Human Trafficking Advisory Council, which strives to end the exploitation of vulnerable people around the world. Her leadership also extends to the business world. She's chair of the Hensley and Company, the Anheuser-Busch beer distributorship founded by her father in 1955. And since 2011, she has provided valuable guidance to the USC Rossier as a member of our Board of Counselors. Please join me in welcoming Cindy Hensley McCain to the podium.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a testimony that miracles do happen. Did I ever think I would not only be standing here addressing all of you, but have an honorary degree bestowed on me to boot? I cannot tell you what this event for me means. I know how much it means to you and your parents and your families, but please know I am as deeply humbled as you are to be a USC Trojan. The words I'd like to convey to you just briefly today is from both my husband and me, and as you know, my husband passed away last August. But the words that he and I lived by and the journey that we had together with regards to service and honor and dignity and courage, we always like to talk about together in all of these roles. My late husband used to joke about, on occasion, how he could never understand how a person like him could stand 5th from the bottom of his class at the United States Naval Academy and deserve any distinction at all. I did a little better here at USC academically than he did, but I'm genuinely humbled by all of this. Let me add my voice to the chorus of congratulations to you, the Rossier School 100th class of master's degree graduates. 100, good for you. Yours is a hard-earned and laudable accomplishment, and the profession you've chosen is one of the noblest endeavors on earth. I admire your achievements and your commitment to serving others. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, I graduated from this glorious university with a master's degree. My focus was special education, as was mentioned. I remember how proud I was and how proud my parents were that day, just as yours are today. They have good reason to be proud of you. You proved their confidence in you was deserved and their hopes for you attainable. I remember, too, how anxious I was to begin working in my chosen profession. I wasn't entirely confident I could measure up to the demands of the work of my own expectations, but I was really eager. I think I had anticipated the emotional rewards of being an educator more than I understood the trials that await most teachers. In the months ahead, I found working in special education to be more rewarding than I had ever expected, and the challenges daunting, even discouraging at times, but never overwhelming, never overwhelming. When I left special education, it wasn't because I had lost my affinity or felt defeated by its demands. On the contrary, I loved what I did. I loved it. But life takes unexpected turns, as you will find out. I met and married a naval officer who would then become a public figure and take me to Washington, D.C. from my home state of Arizona. When I returned to Arizona, I was expecting our first child. I loved being a wife and a mother, and my life had been productive and happy. While the demands on a politician's spouse are numerous and sometimes consuming, they are not without reward and great adventure. I have been blessed. But I admit, I felt the absence of a professional calling, and not just any profession, but a profession of service to others. I had wanted very much to be an educator, and I had worked hard to be qualified for the job. I missed it, and I felt, if not unfulfilled, a little bit incomplete. Fortunately, there are in this world more summons to serve than there are takers. And I could fill that need with any number of activities that I stumbled upon and be brought the same satisfaction that material comforts can never provide. In a world with suffering children, with unaccounted for landmines, with the evil of human trafficking, and many other urgent missions, anyone can find a worthy cause to serve that enlarges your own sense of worth and purpose. There is nothing more liberating in my life, my husband said, than serving a cause greater than your own self-interest, a cause that might encompass you, but is not defined by your existence alone. John believed self-sacrifice brought a happiness far more sublime than pleasure. And goodness knows he lived the experiences that proved it. Even family responsibilities, as consuming and rewarding as they can be, don't provide quite the same kind of satisfaction earned by serving causes greater than your self-interest. And that's your calling. That's what you will be doing as educators. And I think you are as blessed as you are a blessing. You are making the world better than you found it. You are helping provide children with knowledge and the skills to use it, the resources and the capabilities essential for improving their circumstances, for living purposeful, fulfilled lives, for when it's their turn, emulating you by making their world better than they found it. No doubt that the work will be daunting at times, frustrating and even discouraging. No doubt some days you'll wonder if you'd made the right choice. And no doubt you will encounter other opportunities for living satisfying lives. Some of you may take them and find value and purpose in new causes and endeavors. But none of us will find greater value and purpose in any endeavor than that possessed by teachers. Teachers who help children expand their horizons and prepare them for their journey. You're essential. You're the bridge builders to the future, harvesting from the past and presenting the learning to make ready the new. You're going to be innovators and pathfinders, wise ones, and proponents of new ideas, mentors and role models. You're going to be loved. and loving. You're blessed. You're going to earn a happiness far more sublime than pleasure. Lucky you. Make your service your classrooms, your local communities, your countries, and make it the world. Leave this world a better place than you found it. Thank you for having me, and God bless all of you.
Thank you for those words to remind our students of what you have done and led us and are a good example for them. So thank you. As graduates of USC Rossier, you know that all kids can learn is not just a slogan. It is fundamental to our drive to advance educational equity. It is also at the heart of the vision laid out by our commencement speaker, who liberated the classroom with technology to provide a free, world-class education to anyone, anywhere. In 2004, Sal Khan was working as an investment analyst when he learned that his 12-year-old cousin was struggling in math. Sal, who has 3 degrees from MIT and an MBA from Harvard, offered to tutor her. Word spread in his family that there was free tutoring, and he soon had 15 cousins around the world that he ran tutoring sessions for every evening. To make his long-distance tutoring easier, he began using a Yahoo program that let them visualize the calculations on their computers as he talked them through the problem on the phone. A friend suggested he turn his tutoring session into YouTube videos, and by 2008, his online tutorials were racking up tens of thousands of views per month. That early tutoring project has now evolved into the nonprofit Khan Academy, which has over 70 million registered users in 190 countries. And it includes 250,000 educators. Its vision is to empower teachers to address the individual needs of every student. He's been profiled by 60 Minutes and recognized as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. A strong advocate of teachers, I'm delighted and honored to introduce our commencement speaker, Sal Khan.
Thank you so much, Dean Gallagher. It's a real honor to be here. I also want to thank Mrs. McCain. I've been a big fan of everything that both you and your husband have done over the past decades. I want to thank the Rossier board, faculty, staff, distinguished guests. What I want to talk about and why I'm so honored to be here, it's almost cliche when people talk about the importance of education, and they talk about how teaching itself, being an educator, is the noblest of all professions. But at the same time, there's all these murmurs about technology and what is technology going to do to the classroom and what is it going to do to society? And the real takeaway is that because of some of these tectonic shifts that are going on in our society, there's no more important time to be an educator. And I'm going to explain a little bit more why. And also, I want to be very clear, when people talk about technology and education, sometimes they try to draw parallels in other industries. They might say, hey, online commerce versus physical commerce, and they're somehow at odds with each other. And as someone who's, as you just heard my story, kind of inadvertently gotten associated with online learning and whatever else, I'll say it very clearly right now that as a parent and as someone who wants the same for my children as, frankly, every child on the planet, if I had to pick between the fanciest artificial intelligence, virtual reality, personalized learning technology, and an amazing teacher who cares about my child or anyone else's child and just a stick in some sand, it's a no-brainer. I would pick the teacher and stick in sand any day of the week. Now, the opportunity is that we don't have that trade-off. And if anything, we can think about how can tools like technology be in service to that. And that's another, I think, important theme that folks in technology often miss. A lot of times, if you're an engineer, or if you're writing software, you can get so enamored with your creation that it becomes technology looking for a solution, a solution in search of a problem. And I think that's frankly the worst way to apply technology. The best way to apply technology is saying, well, what's our objective? And what can we do to give more people time, more people purpose, and to give more people their humanity? And that tool might be a tent, it might be a pencil and paper, or it might be some type of online learning. And to put in perspective how big of a deal the journey that you're about to go on is, you can turn on the TV tonight and people are going to talk about artificial intelligence and online this and online that, and maybe in 5 or 10 years you're going to have self-driving cars and self-driving trucks. We might have retail stores where they're not your traditional cashiers. And people are asking very serious questions is, well, what happens to, for those of us who are beneficiaries of maybe having cheaper transportation or whatever else, it might seem great. But there's millions of people who are right now, that's their life purpose, helping us get the things that we need. What happens to the millions of people who are right now driving the Ubers and Lyfts or truck drivers? What happens to all of the people who work in retail? And there's some solutions that are getting thrown out there, especially I think as we get into kind of a presidential cycle. People are talking about ideas like universal basic income or other types of safety nets. After all, there will be all this wealth created. Maybe we can make sure that it's shared, and maybe that's part of the solution. But that by itself, in my mind, won't cut it, because it would still leave a lot of people without purpose. And at the end of the day, purpose is what makes us human. Now, the other thing that I hear a lot, especially in technology circles, is people get kind of hand-wavy. They point to the Industrial Revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries and says, well, yeah, that was kind of the same thing. It was a little bit scary. Weavers were afraid of losing their jobs. Horses did lose their jobs. They never actually got them back. But net, in the Industrial Revolution, it looks like there was net job creation. If you get into the 20th century, you had a broad-based middle class that really made, especially the countries like the United States, kind of the engine of prosperity for the world. But anyone who says that, the Industrial Revolution kind of just solved itself and technology always, at the end of the day, is a net benefit, they're making a glaring oversight. Because at the exact same time as the Industrial Revolution, in the 18th and 19th centuries, society had made what I think is the biggest, most utopian bet that we've ever made in maybe humanity's history, and that was the bet on free mass public education. If you go back 400 or 500 years, only about 20% of the population, even in some of the more literate parts of the world, knew how to read. And I suspect that if you went to someone who did know how to read, say a member of the clergy, and you say, what percentage of the population do you think is even capable of reading? They would have said, well, today it's 20%. Maybe with a great education system, you could get to 30 or 40 or 50%. But there were folks in the 18th and 19th centuries who says, that's not going to cut it. Our society is becoming more complex. We're going to need more people to be able to participate in the urbanization and the technology that's being developed. And so we're going to take a reasonable chunk of our GDP and invest it in an idea that clergy member from 500 years ago would have thought were delusional. If I asked that clergy member from 500 years ago, hey, that child whose parents are poor and no one in their family knows how to read and who begs every day at the corner of the church, I think that he can read. I think that she can learn algebra. And back then, algebra was like quantum physics for us. And I think that clergy member says, that's a nice thought, but that's delusional. But free mass public education showed us in the 19th century that isn't delusional. That pretty close to 100% of the population is capable of reading. That pretty close to 100% of the population is capable of understanding math, is capable of writing, is capable of communicating. And so the challenge that we have for us, and as far as I'm concerned, the only option for us to navigate this inflection point that we're going in, some people call it the third industrial revolution, is to make a similar bet. Build on the bet of the Industrial Revolution. Build on free mass public education. But then think about what are the tools that this new inflection point is giving us to just up-level folks even more. If I were to tell you that, hey, what if some of those truck drivers who get laid off, what if they could be cancer researchers? What if someone who used to be a cashier, once that gets automated, what if they could be the next great entrepreneur, or write the next great novel, or be a movie producer? I think a lot of us would have similar blinders that clergy member would have had 500 years ago. They would have said, well, that's a nice thought, it's a little utopian, it's a little bit delusional. But what if that's just based on the context and the limitations that we've seen so far? When we had this idea of mass public education, we had to make some compromises. We've always known that I'm sure y'all have learned about differentiation and meeting the individual needs of every student. But in a traditional model coming out of Industrial Revolution, we couldn't do that. We had to move students together lockstep, and every teacher knows that some of the kids are a little bit behind, some of the kids are a little bit ahead, but they had to do it in the way that it's always done. But what's exciting, and the question that we have to ask ourselves are, can we use some of these tools of this third industrial revolution to go after these ideals? These ideals, Benjamin Bloom, his famous 2 Sigma study, that if a student can get that personalization, get that differentiation, that same student that you thought was quote-unquote average at the 50th percentile could operate in that 90th, 95th percentile, could do these things that today we only associate for just a few. And so for all of you as educators, I think this is frankly the most exciting time to be an educator. But anytime something's exciting and you're going to go on an adventure, there's going to be both ups and downs. And so I'll give you a little bit of advice on that, is that there will be times that you're going to find yourself frustrated. There are going to be times where you're going to question yourself. There are going to be times where you might let a little bit of cynicism creep in. And my advice to you is, a lot of people pick careers for different reasons. A lot of people pursue money. A lot of people pursue status. And I hope all of y'all get your fair share of either of those. But that's clearly what you're not optimizing for. You're optimizing for purpose. You're optimizing for impact. And what's powerful about that is when you have those moments of insecurity, when you're having those moments of doubt, you can turn to that purpose. And what I tell, Khan Academy now is much, much more than me. We're over 200 educators and researchers work formally with us. We have 14,000 people who've helped volunteer and translate around the world. We have 250,000 educators who are working with us to help serve their students. And what I tell all of them is, when you do something, you should always think about the person you're doing it for. And you should always make sure that you love that person. Do it as if they are your cousin. Do it as if they are your child. And that love will carry through regardless of what you're doing. And so when you have those moments of cynicism, when you have those moments of frustration, just remember who you're doing it for. And also remember that our civilization literally depends on it. And so I'll leave you with one final thought experiment. And this is one that I literally remind myself all the time, and I don't always follow it, but it's served me pretty well. So imagine yourself in 50 years. You're near the end of your career. You're in your your 70s, your 80s, and you're on your couch, and you're watching the State of the Union hologram by President Bieber. It seems a little bit more realistic now than it did a few years ago. And while that is happening, you start reflecting on your life. And I can imagine what your reflections will be. You're going to think about your great career that you had, the generations of young people, of learners that you've been able to reach and really empower, them coming back to your classroom saying how you were the thing that gave them the spark. You were the one that challenged them and made them who they are. You're going to think about your family, and you're going to think about all your great experiences with them. You're going to think about your classmates. You're going to think about memories at USC. And while you're doing that, you're also going to have some regrets. And I think I could predict what those regrets are going to be. You're going to say, well, I did a lot, but I wish I did more. I wish that time when I was afraid to take the risk that I still took the risk. I wish that I let those people who helped me along the way, my teachers, my professors, really tell them what they did for me. In 50 years, your parents might not be around, and you're going to wish that, I wish I hugged them a little bit harder, and I told them every day what they meant to me, and I took the time to spend it with them. And while you're having these regrets, all of a sudden a genie shows up. And the genie says, hello, I'm a genie. And I've been overhearing your thoughts, and I've been overhearing some of your regrets. And you seem like a nice person, so if you're up for it, I'm willing to give you a second chance. And so you don't know what to really make of this genie who's appeared. And so you say, sure, I'll go for this second chance. And so the genie says some incantations and snaps their fingers, and there's a puff of smoke. And then bam, all of a sudden here you are. You're in 2019. You're in your young 20-something, maybe 30-something bodies at the beginning of your career. Your parents are here. Your loved ones are here. Your classmates are here. There's that guy, that crazy guy with the unibrow giving us talk about genies and time travel on the stage. And you realize that the genie was serious. I now actually have my second chance. And so for all of you who are about to embark on what I think is going to be the most exciting time in human history, the most exciting time to be an educator, I really look forward to seeing what you're going to do with your second chance. Thank you.
Thank you, Sal Khan. I hope we're all here in 50 years too, because that will be our 150th anniversary, and we'll invite you back to see how we did with our second chance. Let's give Sal Khan another round of applause. Thank you. All right, the time you've been waiting for. The graduates from the USC Rossier School of Education master's degree programs will now come forward. The students' names will be read by John Pascarella, chair of the MAT program, Dr. Helena Selly, chair of the master's programs, and Dr. Rob Philback, chair of the MAT TESOL program. So we'll get the ushers to begin escorting students so they can come up on stage.
The following are the graduates of the Masters in Educational Counseling. Where's your name? Okay. Melanie Elizabeth Harmon. Daisy Morales Gonzalez. Leslie Imelda Serpas. Jacqueline Yesenia Villatoro. Dominique Romero. Phoebe Fong Ting Chen. Sorry. Kiara Damian Rodriguez. Ruby Rodriguez. Jonathan Ng. An Le. Jennifer Christine Eberly. Tina Min Tran Nguyen. Cynthia T. Le. Rebecca Carreon. Tori Lynn Sarubatari. Paola Perez. Adiva Myers. Asani Monet Myers. Adriana Irene Reyes. Veronica Pilar Cruz Schwerin. Disha Manendro. Haiwan Cho. Susana Pineda. Mahitha Rao. Cristina Noel Rivas. Leora Anel Hodes. Ariel Hodes. Sarah Alexander. Esteban Alfaro Gamero. Maria Sultana Zaman. Anahit Yamshidian. Rimsha Yunas. Mark Roquin. Jasmine Raven Revels. Jose Cortez. Eric Carino. Nancy Le Liu. Vanessa Almonte. Valeria Plasencia. Giovanni Ochoa. Jose Luis Ochoa Jr. Eduardo Franco. Frankie J. Chavoya. John Noyola. Renee Denise. Charlie Morales. Jesse Hernandez. Danielle Gelot. Krishad T. Moye. Elizabeth Castañeda. Carmen Tatenko. Amina Thomas. Sayana Monet Smith. Okay. The following are the graduates of Masters in Learning, Design, and Technology. Priscilla Falter. Nicole Vanessa Stark. Scott Michael Sherman. Truck Trung Nguyen. Alice Chang. Lisa Marie Thomas. Adeline Melissa Tatum. Erica Danielle Mitchell. Michael John Minetti. Stephanie Nanette Tai. Michelle Andrea Cordero. Danica Joyce de las Reyes C. Marianne Bernice Ward. Davia Ashton Shuby. Buju Palozolu. Mark Dornes. Patrick Thomas Irish. The following are the graduates of the Masters in Marriage and Family Therapy. Lloyd Jun Young Kim. Amanda Elizabeth Carnegie. Colin Takahashi. Ivan Casabianca. Bianca Jacqueline Calazzo. Susan Hagen Lee. Lorraine Nadia Kidiwa. Rene Eduardo Erazzo. Hector Allen Saavedra. Joshua Nashid Johnson. Lauren Levy. Luz Angelica Islas Rosales. Anna Rangel. Taylor McKenna Thatcher. Hannah Herr. Tracy Das. Itzel M. Molina. Jasmine Kaur Goindi. Gabrielle Marie Del Rey. Zenia Elizabeth Rodriguez. Jennifer Ashley Aceves. Alana Rochelle Brooks. Felicia Nichelle Chavez. Sona Topalian. Navard Mkruchian. Therese Angelina Aponti. Nicole Tehrani. Sonia Ashling Bradley. Myra Leva. Brenda Santillan. Marisa Ann Holt. Madison May Keyahi Yawan West. No. Alora Ray Barrera. Lauren Elise Masoon Pietra. Danielle Simone Marufo. Marufo. Andrea Virginia Gonzalez. Samantha Raygor Harbert. Danielle Rebecca Lewin. Madeline Friendly. Laura Elizabeth Ashlock. Chang Si. Okay. Parisa Waisi. Margarita Mera. Casey Morgan Klein. Okay. At the other. Karen Zakai Fishman. Okay. Keely Elizabeth Dunn. Christina Mulin Liu. Madison Elizabeth Bowden Dennis. Alexis Victoria Fahey.
We're now proud to announce the graduates of the Master of Arts in Teaching program. Shania Janaea Adams. Marissa Deanne O'Mara. Chandler Ronson Grenley. Caitlin Ann Connors. Beatrice Eleanor Ochoa. Liam? Erica Florence Liam. James Courtney Worthington. Edward Michael Swan. Lauren Marie Newman. Tori Gipty. Madeline Hannah Bruce. Ashley Enriquez. Nora M. Abasto. Julianne Daisy Baca. Natalie Juliana Ramirez. Mary Jovi Abudi. Jessica Elizabeth Moctezuma. Kendra Elizabeth Napier. Brittany Noelle Mayburn. Victoria Christine Gonzalez. Beatrice Benavides. Sylvia Eva Rico. Melanie Camargo. Brenda Esmeralda Flores. Nicole Godinez. Amanda Nicole Berrigan. Donatila Hernandez Carmona. Ilana Norit Drubach. Carissa Lorena Gonzalez. Veronica Delgado. Laura Cortez Cuevas. Sabrina Schmidt Goldstein. Stephen Spencer. Congratulations. Melody Athene. Biting? Bidding. Melody Athene Bidding. Michelle M. Henry. Stephanie Gardenas. Hi, congratulations. Jay. Haley J. Hill. Anna Lee Alday. Daisy Barrera Campos. Adrian Paz Caesar. Dana Lynn Gallego. Dana Lynn Gallego. Stephanie Agatha Fisher. Christy Lauren Berkey. Ashley Aminian. Marissa Nicole Hernandez. Genesis Cruz. Stephen William Johnson. Jory LaShawn Hamilton. Hyrule Purdy Bhakta. Jennifer Koo. Ashley Michelle Jankowitz. Eden Charlene Amons. Dawn Marie Corbin. Ellen Elizabeth Bianca Guerrero. Nathan John De Las Rias. Herbad Penham. Rigoberto Diaz. Hee-Jun Kwan. Aaron Berglund. Darlene Gambaros. Laura Ashley Dawson. Eric John Hanna. Carly Marie Carrazzo. Emily Ann Haymond. Cassie Nicole Delgado. Fajar Burhan Ibrahim. Janice Nicole Aguilar. Caitlin Michelle Gobin. Paige Feldman. Tara Matia Harcourt. Hannah Amy Kang. Lauren Nicole Critchfield. Jacqueline Aguilar. Alyssa Darlene Dominguez. Michelle Adai. Congratulations. Xinguan. Anna Maria Galushka. Brooke Elizabeth Flores Osteroff. Holly Hua Bu. Amber Danielle Banks. Shauna Bunny Donahue. Jillian Marie Carey. Sahar Fagihi. Corinne Hakatorian. Michelle Kimberly Romer. Abigail Francis Gebhardt Harden. Samantha Ross Bowdrin Valentine. Rose Lucia Clark. Stephanie Avon Haragi. Jessica Ramona Carbajal. William Henry Horlocker. Cassandra Juarez. Cassidy Rhonda Melinis Lyman Victoria Kusha Aguirre. Vanessa Marie Muniz. Natalina Christina Capra. Jada Janae Blackwell. Jamie Iglesias. Joyce Bay. Unso Kim. Eric In. Alberto Sendejas. Lauren J. Kroom. Dana Lee Bell. Anthony John Garcia. Arlene Garcia Gomez. Joy Lachey Hamilton. Angelica Carter. Victoria Mabel Amthor. Matthew Javidi. Stephanie Lynn Farmer. Veronica Aresiga. Sabrina Ishu. Sarah Kim. Daniel Julian Delatorre. Tamara Barsumian. Zainab Halawi. Molly Ann Bauka. Samantha Renee Fredericks. Elizabeth May Davis. Sarah Arlene Hankinson. Beatrice Beach. Chun-Yi Daphne Chung. Janae Michelle Davis. Tershonda Jasper. Elias Barajas. Joyce Lamb. Khadija Azar. Alba Bernicia Casares. Luis Francisco Mejia. Samantha Hin Young Tran. Tina Lorraine Wynn. Tanya Marie Angel Moreno. Autumn Marie Nelson. Yerzeli Ali Villanueva. Janique Marie Menez. Marissa Nicole Cisneros. Charity Nicole Hawkins. Don Chien Jean. Angel Horacio Vargas Rico. Nichelle Charisse Sophia Williams. Colby Danielle Snipes. Joanna Weichao Zhao. Coral Padilla. Sherry Elizabeth Shepard. Janelle Alyssa Navarro. Rachel Lee Salem. Melanie Oriana. Victoria Danielle Ludford. Nicole Swearingen. Bradley Roberts. Bradley Paul Taylor. Rachel Leanne Pele. Monique Christine Mejia. Autumn Brienne Edgar. Shruti Rajalakshmi Srinivasan. Emma Nive Moreno. Marissa Lynn Tibbetts. Congratulations. Amira Farina Sani. Michael Gabriel Trinidad. Vincent Barrera. Maria del Rosario Pineda. Alyssa Ramirez. Angie. Marie Martinez Reina. Wang Zheng Hong. Danny Ortiz. Perla E. Arguellas. Whitney J. Lopez. Jeremy Windsor Edens. Maurizio Michelle. Esther Yang. Sloan Tomiko Mitchell. Christine Megan Amiko Saito. Leslie Ann Ruzan. Samantha Seawing Mo. Samantha Lynn Okasla. Bakor Morel Williams. Jabril Troy Apprentice Sutton. Ashley Camille Peters. Ashley Monet Washington. Alexandra Ortiz. Chastity F. Tolles. Andrew Alberto Trevino. Samtida A. Salem. Jenny J. Sun. Brenda Jacqueline Morillo. Monica Adriana Rodriguez. Pune Irasi Osario. Aaron Joseph Picunos. Edward Lester Palit. Noelia Ramos. Kirsten Lara Gotthold. Kimberly June Pistor. David Anthony Polido. Ryan Anthony Saletta. Great hair. Natalie Huang Lai. Monet Nicole Ware. Anita Udoko Okolo. Maricela Sosa. Marlene Heredia. Deirdre and Panu. Deirdre and Panu. Jennifer Vasquez. Rachel Elizabeth Burt. Shay Elizabeth Larson. Danielle Ramos Cloutier. Jennifer Lynn Robertson. Karen Cornelia Hollinshead. Kendall Christine Larson. Elizabeth Rose Smith. Deasia Alexis Smith. Kimberly Montanez. Blanca Cristina Perez. Jasmine Vendez Valdoinos. Hannah Bell Milarini. Erica Floyd. Brett Marielle Hellinger. Christine Marie Ludolph. Cheryl Van Ulst Baker. Abe Flores Rojo. Angelique Quintero. Rachel Zolotuski. Joanna Lee Gonda. Jennifer Lee Ariano. Sonny Adrian Randall. Brian Katian Pham. Robert Michael Yunt Gregory. Anna Marie Mickgar. Matt Wallace. Christy Lauren Oropesa. Elizabeth Ruddy. Christine Elizabeth Whitmarsh. Michaela Kalei Kamaka Tom. Hannah Leolani Moore. Isla Patricia Levita. Blair Alexandra Smith. Robert Cedillo. Stephanie Nicole Lucetta. Sujung Sarah Chin. Jada Marie Vasconcelos. Gabby Sanchez. Mita Sun. Rebecca Ortiz Bodensteiner. Gabrielle Margaret Sparger. Karen Tracy Peck. Charles Ki Hong Kim. Karen Sun. Lynn Pan. Sydney Ann Castaneda. Melanie Livier Barajas. Julia Magdalena Denny. By way of Nigeria, Chima Stanley Ikime. Robert Anthony Laguna. Casey Kathleen Myers. Samantha Joe Villaverde. Samantha Ann Wilson. Chang Wong. Maximilian Vincent Salcida. Aurora Rebecca Ramos. Jimena Lucia Elian. Brian Moss. Arsalan Khan Rasawi. Hannah Aftalian. Claudia Trop. Claire Oliva. Annie Keene. Kristen Grace Ann Day. Ashley Cheyenne Dixon. Christina Louise Anderson. Jacob Bass Roth. Lisette Haro Becerra. Christina Ann Smith. Kellen Ann Scanlon. Riley Runberg. Sona Postagian. Mariana Azizian. Jessica Ye. Yarim Wu. Yunsuk Oh. Jason Yip. Carson Alexandra Lanting. Aureli Rodriguez. Ernesto Rangel. Nancy Yang. Felicia Wu. Matthew John Sekjimia. Samuel Chungfei Liang. Stella Lee. Ana Maria Ramirez. Yasamen Ashley Nejad. Sanjita Rahman. The following are the recipients of the Credential in Special Education: Sonia Castillo Maxon.
The following graduate is our inaugural graduate of the World Masters in Language Teaching Program, Natalie Perez. The following graduates are graduates of the Master of Arts in Teaching tesol program, Marie Santos, Hyunsil Park, Rui Chen, Sarah Rush Lachance, Gohar Karamayan. Oh, got an easy one. Nathaniel Allen Collins. Nadia Lederer. Yasmin Mitchell. Alexandra Christine Orwellian. Quincy Lim. Ibrahim Talavera. Harveen Kaur Sambiring. Susanna Martinez. Lily Lee. Shiyan Lily Lee. Mungyi Shi. Yue Li. Yiming Sun. Shichi Yan. Zongsong Chen. Di Wu. Wenting Li. Yuan Amanda Tsai. Arlene Joan Pereda. Tava Shane Barber. Tava, sorry. Tava. Jingjing Jacqueline Wang. Qingning Li. Yanqing Yang. Zhelan Zhang. Lin Xiao Ren. Jitingchan Shu. Xianting Liu. Binyi Huang. Lucia Lin. Dali Luo. Chu Yi Han. Chu Jie Zai. Xinping Wang. Lu Yu Jia. Zichi Jin. Rihab Al-Sulami. Natalie Reyes. Jieshen Sun. Min Xiao He. Ke Yi. Man Ni Wang. So sorry. Lan Lan. No, right? No. Yan Ru Mo. Pei Ying Zhao. Yu Ting Feng. Sidu. Jessica Renee Sidu Vesquez. Thank you. Maxine Zuniga Maldonado. Ziyue Huang. Rebecca Ruiz. Marguerite Blythe Sosat Goto. Alan Du Lam. Botcher, okay. Allison Sarah Botcher. Kitima McMakin Case. Elizabeth Schmidt. Melissa E. Rozonsky. Caroline Person. Rachel Lee Watson. Faraday Kokabi. Lara Carbine. Shane Donovan Lilydall. Nana Matsumoto. Alberto Figueroa. Yuan Wang. Jiyu Zhou. Zhao, sorry. Yasmin Stasi. Jackie Sonam Daloma Young. Stephen Morris Armstrong II. Vivian Sarksian. Clarice Evelyn White. Rachel Jolie Karchian.
The following are the graduates of the Post-Secondary Administration and Student Affairs. Victoria Lynn Alexander. Sharif Joshua. Molly Claire Katz. Rebecca Evangeline Calvillo. Natalie Jean Smerkonich. Alexa Hart Lane. Darcy Dominiani. Annalise Catherine Whirl. Tori Alexandra Lewine. Valerie Ann Perez Cabanban. Richard Jacob Coles. Daniel Anthony Garcia. Amy Michi Nagao. Renata Figueroa. Alondra Morales. Miguel Rodriguez. Rosa Alicia Flournoy, TMC. Yesenia Rosales. Andrea Christine Mora. Keith Domon. Patsy Morales Gonzalez. Kevin Tri Yang. Camille Jewel Edwards. Keturah Prowell. Haryana Diane Ananda Thompson. Kimberly Denise Alvarez. Susanna Elizabeth Marquina. Melody Linchiao Su. Devon Spencer Koenig. Richard Robin Amador. Stephanie Carol German. Savannah Tamar Karagulian. Monica Paola Prado Garcia. Courtney Bird. Karen Elizabeth Laranaga. Victoria Teresa Esquier. Anne Watanabe. Ashlyn Danielle Fields. Morgan Leahy Baker. And last but not least, Elizabeth Erin Archer.
Okay. There's just a little bit more to go. There are two important groups here today that have been integral in your success. First, let me join in acknowledging our extraordinary Rossier faculty. Would the faculty please stand and be acknowledged? And even more personally, would all the graduates please stand and join in thanking your families, your friends, and your supporters. Okay. And no school could function, and certainly no complicated commencement ceremony could be accomplished without the work of the staff. So would the staff of the Rossier School please wave their hand or stand, they're probably standing, and be acknowledged. Congratulations once again to our graduates, and thank you to our guests. I welcome all of you to join us for a reception in their honor beyond the far corner of the quad on Pardee Way lawn, way over there. Thank you. And USC Rossier School of Education, class of 2019, I salute you and fight on.
Crawling in the dark.
More of the same. Crawling in the dark.
Kids are all right.